Hi everybody, this is Lonnie. I just got a shipment of acrylic in from Craft Acrylic, and we're going to be doing some videos on them, so stand by. Alright, it took me a while, but here are the test pieces that I had done. All done on a 20-watt machine. They're all identical to each other. The test grid across the top here is a speed of 10, and then power settings from 10, 33, 55, 78, and 100. All the text was done at power of 33, speed of 10, and then when they were cut out, it was power of 100, speed of 5, and 5 passes unless otherwise noted, and then enhanced. The enhanced switch was on as well on the machine. So here they are. I haven't stripped the protective covering of them off yet, but I left them coating on both sides. Then I went ahead and did the engraving, and now I'm going to take the protective coating off. The easy way to do these is you can start and you can strip what you can get by just peeling it off. Now you're gonna lose little pieces of it inside the O's, zeros, etc. But what you do is once you get the main part of it off, is you can go back with a piece of duct tape, put it on top of it, and pull it off, and it'll get off. Now when I go to clean these off, I'm not going to get every piece off because it's going to be time consuming and I don't have time, but I'll get the majority of them off. Okay, I'm back and we're going to discuss these a little bit. Just a word of note, if you get tired of using the tape method, you can take all these and go stick them in some hot soapy water, let them sit for a couple minutes, and then scrub them off with the sponge pad. Okay, as you see, these turned out fairly decent. Some better than others, but they all took the engraving. With the exception of that one surprised me. It's kind of like a marble texture to it. It's white and it turned out pretty good. And this purple, this metallic looking purple, turned out really good as well. The ones that had problems, this green one here, got a little marbling in it. It came out okay. It could have come out with like six or seven passes to cut. This one here is the same way. It took 6 or 7 passes to cut. I mean, I got it out with 5. I just had to break it out. But and then this one here, I ended up having to break it out. I could not get it to go, and I think it's because it's got more blue in it, and the blue laser won't cut it. That one I had problems with, and then this purple I had problems with. I don't know how many times around on this thing, and it still won't come out. And again, that might be purple's got blue in it, so maybe that's why it didn't do it. But all the rest of them did fairly well. And as you can see on the test cuts here, at 10 they start to at 10 speed and 10 power they start to mark. And then by 100 they'll punch through, and if they don't punch through by 100 here, then give up on cutting because it's not going to do it. So that's a good clue. As you see, this one here almost didn't go through all the way, and it almost didn't cut out. So the rest of them, as you see, by the time they got to 100 it was poking through, and they all cut through with 5 passes. Alright, now I'm going to show you what to do when you get a piece of acrylic to find out what your settings are. A good place to start on, according to all these, is 10 speed, 10 power, and then to cut all the way through 100 at 5 speed and 5 passes. So I'm going to show you how to do a test on one to save you some time energy. Alright, so here I have a piece of material in my machine, and I need to do a test on it. And so what I'm going to do, based on all the ones I did today, the most common place where it starts marking is 10 speed, 10 power. So I'm going to make a rectangle over here, just a small one. I'm going to do fill engrave on it, and I'm going to do 10 speed. Power, vice versa, whatever. So 10 and 10. And then what I'm going to do, before I move it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have it autofocus on that. That way we can make sure that it's actually on the board, because we're going to move it over to the edge so we don't waste any material. Alright, so it is autofocused on it, so we're going to take that and we're going to move that until it's closer to the edge. And then we're going to come over here, get a line, and draw a line across the corner. We're going to tell that line to cut, and we're going to let it cut at 100 power, 5 speed, and 5 passes. Okay, so we got that set. Now we're just going to tell it to start. Send it over to the machine. Hit start. Turn my fan on. And what it's going to do, I'll be right back in a second. Alright, so here I have this back out of the machine. What I did was I cut my test from the corner. Let me see if I can get the paper off. So I can see here that it made a mark like I wanted it to. It also fell down in the grate and got burnt, but that's okay. And another thing I do while I'm watching it cut this line is I count the passes that it goes by. It may not take 5 passes to do it. And another thing is, if it does 5 passes and this hasn't broken loose yet, you can just leave it and do a couple more passes and see where you end up at. It's a lot easier to mess it up on a corner than to have something big printed in here and do it. Also, it's better to have too many cuts to cut it off than not to have enough, because if you spend a half an hour doing something nice on here, then you go to cut it out, and when you go to cut it out, it doesn't fall out. Now you're kind of stuck. You got to start over again. Another nice thing about the acrylic that they sent me, I don't know if you can see the edges on these, but the edge is cut out really nice. It's not jaggedy, and the acrylic wasn't popping. So yeah, it worked out really nice.